Right now, the people who are supposed to protect you and your home from wildfires are nervously watching the dry conditions and admitting to Target 8 they're understaffed and using outdated equipment.
This wildfire in the UP burned 50 homes and cottages in May, and it cost at least $3.5 million of your tax money.
Target 8 investigator Henry Erb uncovered an internal audit that found Michigan's wildfire program may not have all the tools it needs to keep you safe.
It is very dry.
In his office in the woods near Allegan, Department of Natural Resources Fire Officer Paul Rogers studies a computer program that tells him what the conditions are for a wildfire.
The whole southern Michigan is just a tinderbox right now.
Fire danger is high, and Target 8 investigators have discovered that there is a reason to wonder if Michigan's wildfire program is up to the job. This unpublicized internal audit report shows the firefighting staff is way short of what it should be. Today, there are 70 wildfire officers across the state. At the very least, there should be 117, according to the audit report.
It makes us very nervous, obviously.
Scott Heather runs the DNR's wildfire program and says short staffing played a role in the 21,000-acre wildfire in the Upper Peninsula in May.
That was part of the issue because we're spread so thin. Our staff was shorthanded when the fire first took off.
It took 3 weeks, help from 2 other states and the National Guard to stop it, but first it destroyed 47 homes and cottages, a motel, a store, and 85 garages, outbuildings, and campers. The strategy in wildfire control is to keep fires from growing that big.
What we found over time is if we can keep a fire 10 acres or smaller, we can typically contain it with our initial attack. Once it gets past 10 acres, it's difficult to do that, and then that's when they often turn into larger fires.
He says the availability of fire crews is critical in keeping wildfires contained.
We've closed a number of offices because of staffing, and so you close an office, now you have a longer dispatch time to get to the fire. It gives the fire a greater chance to exceed that 10 acres.
And the audit report found something else, old equipment.
This is what we call a tractor plow.
Bulldozing a fuel-free line around a wildfire is the key strategy, so these tractors are vital equipment.
This particular one is an older John Deere 350. John Deere hasn't made these for a long time. This is actually from the 70s.
The audit found that 70% of the DNR's firefighting vehicles are past the need for replacement, based on the equipment aging schedule the state uses. Aging equipment is more expensive to maintain. This dozer had to be completely refurbished in the 90s.
Trying to get parts for it is a problem now.
And they worry that a dozer will quit in the path of a fire, endangering the operator.
Spending on the wildfire program has declined since the 70s, when there were twice the number of fire officers. That in part recognizes that rural fire departments have improved over that time and now handle most of the small wildfires. But local fire departments can only do so much, and they don't have the big equipment that the DNR has.
In 1997, a task force studied just how many fire officers Michigan needed and came up with a minimum of 117. Since then, the number has continued to dwindle with state income and spending, down to 70 without any careful study. That big May wildfire in the Upper Peninsula got the attention of the governor and some lawmakers, and they've asked for a new business plan for the wildfire program. They're trying to figure out what they need now. In the meantime, it's fire weather, and they worry that they won't be able to fight 2 big fires at the same time.
If it's a fire that's going to require more than 1 or 2 rigs on scene, we're not going to catch it.
I'm Target 8 investigator Henry Erb.